36,000 game developers gets 96 hours to make a game each. But only the best will be remembered. Can I survive the GMTK Game Jam 2025 and actually win? I've joined these jams before, but I failed every single time. But this time, I've had enough. I needed to redeem myself, to prove that I could do it even when others doubted me. But most importantly, I couldn't disappoint those who did believe in me. So, with 1 week till the jam begins, I decided to train, to fix everything I'm bad at in 7 misty days. Which is probably too little time, but I had to make every second count. But wait, where do I even start? To answer that question, I had to figure out my weaknesses. So I asked my inner ADT and it went something like this. Hey ADT, what do I suck at? Everything. Anyway, I figured that I really need to improve my art, because just look at this. Go on, guess what it is? Wrong. This is a bull. Yeah, it honestly looks more like a moose. Now, my art is bad, but my audio is even worse. In fact, I feel like I suck a lot at this. I just pull sound effects from random places and sometimes they don't even feel like they fit at all. And even worse, just listen to this. Yeah, I made that, and calling that music is a stretch. But 7 days is too little time to learn music theory, so screw that. Next, I'll admit I'm horrible at game design. And yeah, this is probably why all my games suck. So fixing this will be a huge game changer. Get it? Because it changed my games? Anyway, finally none of this matters if I don't even make a game, which is why I gotta brush up on my game ideas and boost my creativity score. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. Alright, first thing I'm gonna fix, my art. But what am I even gonna draw? I honestly had like 0 ideas until this popped up, the bull enemy that I made for my game Storm Reaper. I don't know why, but I really wanted to turn it into a robot. So... not bad, but honestly, standing still is boring, so let's add a walk cycle to this guy. Now, I've never actually made a walk cycle before, so we'll see how this goes. Step 1, turn the bull. Step 2, draw some frames. Step 3, screw that, I have no idea what I'm doing. Again, step 1, turn the bull. Step 2, ask Google. Step 3, copy paste. Step 4, add voila, walk cycle. That's pretty easy, except this walk cycle looks kinda shitty, which is why I plan to massively improve this later during the week of training, and even make a whole cutscene featuring the bull. But for now, art is just one thing. If I want to win GMTK, I need more than just a shiny bull robot. I need to understand what makes games actually fun, and that's tomorrow's mission. Right, great games have great game design. Since I'm joining the GMTK Game Jam, what better way to learn this than to watch some game design videos from GMTK himself? That was quite a session. My brain is now fried. But I did learn lots of useful stuff like game feel, player engagement, game balance, feedback loops, and a lot more. Anyway, that was probably too much know that. What the heck happened? Oh, it's a new day already. Alright, for day 3, let's get my creative juices flowing by coming up with ideas. Now the plan is simple. I'll have 3 themes in total. For each theme, I'll have 10 minutes to generate as many ideas as I can, then I'll pick the best idea. But first, let's take a look at the themes. For the first theme, we have inconvenient superpowers. And next up, limited space. And the final theme, out of order. Sounds good. Let's start. And that's it. So I came up with some cool ideas today, but having good ideas is one thing and making a good game is another. So that got me wondering, what even counts as a good game in Game Jams? But it's pretty late, so that'll be for tomorrow. Alright, for day 4, my quest is to figure out what counts as a good game in Game Jams. Since I'm trying to win the GMTK Game Jam, why not study the best of it, the winning games of past GMTK Jams? Maybe I'll even find the secret to winning. Damn, these games are incredible. They're clever, they're polished, they're nothing like mine. My horrible buggy games could never reach that level. Not gonna lie, I really don't think there's even a slight chance of me winning anymore. And honestly, I also don't see the point of this training session now. Hey man, don't be defeated. You know, you've lost the Game Jam spirit now, haven't you? Game Jam's all about improving and having fun, not just winning. Yeah man, you're right. You're so right. I don't know why I'm so focused on just winning. Well, I suppose you wanted to prove that you're capable. But you know, there are many ways to do that aside from winning a Game Jam. For example, right now, you should bounce back and do your best to prove that nothing hits you down. He's right. It's time to get back up on my feet. Remember the Boo robot from day 1? It looked half decent and the movement felt weird. Well, I'm gonna try fixing this, and I guess this will be the starting point of my return. And there we have it, a much better Boo robot as compared to day 1. The run makes it feel like it has more weight than the floaty walk on day 1. I'm actually really impressed by myself. Maybe I can do this after all, or so back in business. Now we're not done yet though, because I want to make a whole cutscene with this Boo robot, which should serve as good practice for the narrative category in GMTK. Cue the time lapse. Alright, the cutscene is looking pretty good, but it's half finished because I still have the audio to settle, but it's getting pretty late, so I'll leave that for tomorrow. Day 7. Today is the final day of my training. For my last quest, let's finish up the cutscene, which means it's time to deal with sound effects. Step 1. Find random sounds. Step 2. Layer the sounds. Step 3. Apply effects. Step 4. Combine the sound effects and animation to get this. It's been a busy week, but the next 4 days will probably be even busier, because tomorrow, everything I've been training for begins. 1 week ago, I wasn't even sure if I could survive this jam, but now I feel ready, or at least I'm as ready as I can be. In just 2 hours, the chaos of the GMTK Game Jam 2025 will officially begin. But since it's 1 AM for me when it does, I should probably get some rest for now. So it's 6:58 AM right now and I just woke up. Let's see what the theme is.
Welcome to GMTK Game Jam 2025. This is a crazy fast game-making marathon where you have just 4 days to make a game that fits a theme. And this year's theme is just one word: loop.
Well, let's get to brainstorming. Alright, plan A. You create roundabouts to control traffic. How does that even work? Nah, scrap that. Plan B. You have to untie knots. Nope, I'm not gonna code that. Plan C. Something about electrical circuits. Plan D. Recycling. I have no idea for both of this. Plan E. Plane? Plan F. Routines. Plan G. Lost in forest. Plan H. Coding loops? No, 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 and no. Plan I. Plan J. Plan K. Loop. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. Plan L. Skiing ladders loop the loops. Yeah, I know that makes 0 sense, so here's the full idea. There's a skier and there's a goal, but there's a gap. So you place down ladders as the ground. Now the guy can ski across. Also, bonus point if your track has loop the loops, which ladders like O are perfect for. It sounds clever, at least in my head, so I think I'm gonna go for this. But it also sounds weird, so I sure hope I don't regret this decision later on. Alright, we're in Godot and there's basically nothing in the game right now, which probably wouldn't be nice to ski on, right? So we need ladders that can be dragged and dropped. To do that, I quickly slapped a static body 2D in there, with the Godot icon as a placeholder. Then I coded up a simple drag and drop script. With that, we now have a draggable Godot. But that wasn't enough, because dragging is like the only interaction in the game, so you gotta make sure it feels juicy. So I decided to polish it a little by adding a drop shadow and a slight tilt towards the direction it's moving. Immediately, it just feels so much nicer. But you know what? After staring at the Godot icon for an eternity, I decided that it was boring, and I've had enough. So I went into Sprite to draw some letters. It was at this moment that past ADT realized he fucked up. See, I was second guessing whether the idea is even fun or not. And I'm actually so glad I second guessed myself, because this idea is outright terrible. There's no debate on that. Like, what was I even thinking? I have no words. Anyway, I was about an hour or two into development when I just straight up threw this idea out of the window. And now we're back to square one. Okay, so time for a new idea. 6 precious hours, all gone. My brain is practically fried now. I've burned through 100 ideas and all of them were trash. I was thinking about sushi conveyor belts, day and night cycles, and even freaking feedback loops. Yeah, my 7 days training knowledge is back to help. Game feel, player engagement, game balance, feedback loops, and a lot more. But still, nothing landed. At this point, I was really stressing out. I took walks, I ate dinner, I walked in a loop in my room like some NPC stuck on bad pathfinding. And just when I was about to give up... Okay, I got an idea. Imagine this. The player is a broken robot whose moves keep looping. So he goes like right and then jump on top and then left, which means he drops back down. And right jump left keeps looping. So you can see no matter how many right jump lefts he does, he'll always end up here, which means he obviously can't get past this area. So how do we get the player over there? Well, let's now add a box. So now when the player goes right jump, he'll be on top. And before he goes left and drops again, you're gonna drag and drop this box right here. Now when the player wants to go left, he's actually blocked by the box, right? And then the player can go right jump left and it's blocked right here. So right jump left again and so on. And with this the player will eventually reach the end. So therefore we pass the level. Not gonna lie, this could be a pretty clever puzzle game. That's it. That's the one. That's the one. I fucking got it. I was so relieved to have found a somewhat nice idea, because an entire day has almost passed and I've done almost nothing. But there's good news. See, this new idea needs a drag and drop system, which yes, I already built that earlier, so I can just yoink that and save a bunch of time. With that, we now have a draggable Godot that also has physics, which is pretty cool. But just slamming Godot into walls isn't really that fun, which is why I created this yellow dude. And now we can torture him. Anyway, the yellow dude just stands there and does nothing right now, which is boring. So I yoinked this character controller script from one of my projects and now he moves. Except his movement is supposed to loop, but right now he just moves like a normal character. So I dived back into the code and a few minutes later, this is what I had. So he goes left, right, jump, and so on. It loops. Perfect. We can now drag Godot right here so that the robot can jump on top, which could allow for some pretty cool puzzles. Now that this is done, let's move... Wait, what the heck? I just clipped Godot out of the room. No, not another too late to break situation. If you've seen my game Too Late to Break, you know how badly collision clipping ruined it. If I don't fix this bug, this game could be completely ruined as well. Okay, after some experimentation with different solutions, I'm now using some raycasts, which should hopefully fix the issue. Let's see. It's still not quite fixed. This is not good. Right, I think this should work. I basically switched from Godot's physics engine to Rapier 2D, which should be better, I don't know. Let's run the game and first hit, okay? Second hit, check. Third hit, great. Now, final test. Let's freaking go. It held up. Anyway, I'm like really tired now after all this bug fixing, so see you tomorrow. Alright, new day. We've made pretty good progress on the gameplay, but the visual side of things, let's fix that. So I hopped into Aspire and put my art training to the test. And Yellow Dude is no longer a stick of butter. Next, Godot is cool and all, but why would anyone want to drag a game engine around? So it's now a wooden crate. And finally, with a bit of magic, instead of whatever this place is, we're now inside of a cool factory. This already looks 1,000 times better, but you know what? We can do better. Introducing Steel Crate. Right now it's just a heavy metal box, but I have great plans for it, so stay tuned. Next up, door. It's broken right now, but I'll fix that later, because for now let's welcome a floating platform, which is also broken, but I plan to turn it into a moving platform later. And finally, let's spice things up with some danger. Electrical wires, which doesn't do anything yet. I swear I'll make all of this work soon. Alright, yeah, things did not go smoothly. There were tons of random issues, like why the heck are the door and platform floating down? Look, the platform is literally sinking through the damn floor. But anyway, I fixed it and got there in the end. We now have this steel crate that makes the player jump when dropped from high enough. Also, we have a door that can be dragged up and down, and this moving platform, it can actually be dragged. Finally, the wires actually do something now. So with all these cool mechanics, I can finally make some cool levels. But before that, I decided to draw some decorations. Not just to fill space, but to also set the vibes of an abandoned factory, which ties nicely to the narrative I'm planning to add to the game. Now that this is finished, you might think I'll start doing level design, but no, I'm actually going to hit the sack, cause it's getting kinda late. So I just woke up and I have bad news. My entire day is practically gone. I need to go out to settle some things and I'll only be back by night, which means I won't be able to do anything today. And tomorrow, I need to do literally everything. Levels, audio, narrative, polish, all in one day. Honestly, I don't know if I can do this. I might actually just quit. You know, you've lost the Game Jam spirit now, haven't you? Right now, you should bounce back and do your best to prove that nothing hits you down. You know what? No, I refuse to quit. I can do this. The final day of the Game Jam, the final day of this chaos. Today will be a busy day. So let's do this rapid fire style. Level design. Each of the earlier levels should teach something new. For example, level 1 teaches how you can use crates as platforms. Level 3 teaches how moving platforms can be dragged. Level 4 teaches how steel crates can make the player jump, and level 5? Don't ask, but it's solvable. Next up, sound effects. I practiced this during training, so it should be a breeze. I basically yoinked random sounds from the internet and spammed effects until it sounded right, and slapped that in. Music. I went to my favorite source, Hiddy Bros, found this amazing soundtrack and chucked that in. Moving on, players need to know what move comes next, so I made this loop or donut that shows exactly that. Menus. I quickly drew a logo and put together a simple start menu as well as a credits scene so that I don't get copyright strikes. And narrative. Wait a minute, I have like an hour left. I'm screwed. So I was planning to do some cutscenes for this, but let's be real, that's not happening in an hour. Well, a finished game is better than nothing. I have to scrap the cutscenes. So I didn't want to have zero narrative in the game, hence I opted for some text on every level instead. A huge downgrade, but it's kinda necessary. With that, I then drew this cool cartridge for the final level of the game, and the game was finished. I quickly exported it, uploaded it to Edge, and at last, I hit submit. I sure hope the game doesn't have any lag issues. So it's been about 5 days since the jam ended, and the results are out. My 7 days of training and 4 grilling days of game jamming all comes down to this very moment. Can my game, stuck on repeat, actually win the GMTK Game Jam 2025? No, not even close. So this is what I got. 690th in creativity is quite good actually. So I guess that 6 hours of brainstorming did pay off. In terms of overall ranking, Stuck on Repeat ranked 585th out of 9,643 entries, which means I'm in the top 6.1%. That's pretty good honestly, cause it's the best I've done in Game Jam so far. Throughout the Game Jam voting period, I received lots of feedback and yeah, the web build had some lag issues. Aside from that, tons of people did like the game. Well, my game didn't win, this game's did. Despite that, in the words of a wise man, Game Jam's all about improving and having fun, and that's the Game Jam spirit. Now, if you want to play the game, links in the description. Also, go watch how I made Flappy Bird in a PDF here.